All right. Exciting day, isn't it? It's a Tuesday. What does that mean? Absolutely nothing, but doesn't matter. We're all here. Great people in the chat. I see people already. I see Danny Stanton. I see Dita P. I see Chasing the Truth. I see North Alabama Cryptid. I see my dog trying to jump on me. Notam Boss. Judy Wheeler. It's always great to see these people. Why? Great community means fun. It means enjoyment. So why are you here? Because we're here to enjoy. We're here because we're all open-minded. We all decided that when we get on that highway, when we get on that paranormal highway, our minds are open to possibilities. Possibilities. That's life, right? Possibilities. That's what we live for. That's what we love. The possibilities of the unknown. What's out there? Now, the first segment we're going to get into is world news. Now, technically, world news, I said in the past, it's internet stories and all that. But sometimes I'll play a video that's not maybe paranormal, UFO, or Bigfoot, but I think it's a little bit interesting. Well, I'll put some of those in the world news. So people, we're going to get right into it. Let's get into the world news.
Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty will know. Scotty has to know. Scotty's gonna know. Gonna tell Scotty. Gonna tell myself. Scotty has to know. Scotty has to know. Scotty has to. Scotty has to. Scotty has to go. Scotty doesn't.
All right. Before we start the couple of videos that I have, tomorrow, it's going to be a busy day. There's 2 shows tomorrow. Yes, there is. There's 2 shows tomorrow. I'm going to have one tomorrow at noon, 12 o'clock Pacific time. And it's with a channel called Kark Universal. They do Bigfoots, some paranormal. They're going to come on with me at 12 o'clock noon tomorrow. So we're going to do a good hour. Find out about their channel, what are they looking for, what's behind their channel, what's behind his research on the Bigfoot paranormal. So that's 12 o'clock noon. And then 8 p.m. Pacific time, after Matt's show, Spectrum, the awesome channel, awesome show. After his show, you guys know the Sasquatch in Florida. I keep on saying it wrong. Who cares? And then 8 p.m. that night, we're going to do a UFO show with the unidentified S4s. So tomorrow, there's 2 shows. It's going to be fun. There's one at 12 o'clock noon, and there's one at 8 p.m. noon Pacific time. I don't got the links up. I'll make them tonight. They're going to be fun. They're going to be great. And I wouldn't miss them. I wouldn't miss these shows for the world. We get to meet new people that's never been on this channel before and see what they're about. See if they're going to be part of the Paranormal Highway family or the Gypsy Road family, whatever you want to say. They're part of the family. All right. Now, the first video is creepy emergency broadcast alert hint at the end of the world for Saturday. Well, apparently in California, I thought it was kind of a crazy story where, how you got those emergency broadcasts that pops up? Well, apparently one popped up. And I guess it's talking about end of the world, and there's people believe it. I mean, seriously, you've been trained to, when you get this emergency pop-up on your TVs, on your phones, that is the real deal. Apparently in California, they thought it was the real deal. I thought it was a cool story, so I'm going to play it for you.
The end of the world as we know it, or just a hacker's hoax?
Orange County cable customers heard the ominous prediction on the air today that the world is going to end Saturday.
KCAL 9 Stacy Butler live in Lake Forest tonight. Stacy.
Well, Lena and Jeff, we've all seen those warnings, the test of the emergency broadcast system flash across our TV screens. But it's what happened immediately after that that has many across Southern California shocked at what they saw. You are watching what flashed across some television screens in Southern California just after 11 o'clock this morning. Some heard what started as an emergency alert and turned into a warning of the end of the world. This Irvine mom was shocked.
Because I kind of questioned what it was and asked somebody else that was in the house, what do you think this is? I've never seen anything like this before. It was weird.
She's not the only one. On YouTube, another Orange County woman posted the same bizarre emergency alert, and another viewer saw the alert seconds before the station returned to C-SPAN. Tonight on social media, hundreds are commenting on the end of the world prediction. One woman said, "I saw it too." A woman who lives in West Hills said she saw it while watching a show on Time Warner Spectrum. From USA Today to online chat rooms, there's a lot of talk about this Saturday, September 23rd. Some conspiracy theorists are predicting on that date, a new planet is supposed to collide with the Earth, something scientists say won't happen. A spokesperson at Cox told us today's alert wasn't an end times message at all. It was someone's mistake, possibly an Orange County radio station and maybe even a hacker. In a statement issued tonight, a spokesperson said the radio station that sent the alert didn't turn off their programming when the alert ended. For a short time, some heard programming that was on the radio.
First of all, I think what was worrisome is they built this emergency system to let everybody know emergency's coming, and when it does pop up, nobody really knew what it was. So is it even going to work? I mean, if I'm not, maybe it's not necessarily saying the end of the world is coming directly tomorrow, but what if, I don't know, remember the movie Red Dawn when the Russians in Cuba, they invaded? What if the alert comes up to tell you that we're about to be invaded and nobody knows what it was, so nobody does anything? So it's more of a, how do people, people are not, I hate to use that word, not trained, but people don't realize emergencies even as they come. You guys in Washington, when there's an Amber Alert, your phones go crazy with Amber Alert. You know how many times an Amber Alert goes up and people walk by and say, "What is this? What is this?" It's like nobody knows about alert systems or anything. So the question is, when the shit hits the fan, are we gonna? Or is the fan gonna take the shit and go? I mean, it's a weird world. It's a weird world, And I guess the weak-minded was stay behind and get smashed or whatever it is. I don't know. I thought it was kind of a cool story. This next one on the world news is unusual cloud formation resembles glowing angel in the sky. Can clouds be predictions for us? Is that our guardian angel? Is that a sign from somebody? Well, let's check this one out.
That remarkable cloud formation was caught on camera not far from the Ferraro family home. It's here in Walden on Lake Conroe. Danny Ferraro says he was awestruck by what he saw and captured on his cell phone, but he's most inspired by the reaction that others are having to it. Highway 105 near Lake Conroe is a good place to see a sunset, clouds at twilight. On Monday evening on this same stretch of road, Danny Ferraro and his wife were on their way to a meeting.
We were not looking forward to it because we had the uncertainty about, okay, well, what is this even about?
Perhaps it was about putting them in the right place at the right time to see this.
Wow!
Look at that. And, she looked up and was like, wow, that's an angel.
He took out his cell phone, took the picture through the windshield as he was driving, posted it on Facebook, and his cell phone photo has taken on a life of its own.
And I never even...
Danny, didn't you watch the movie Red Dawn? It's possible, right? It's possible. I agree with you. I agree with you, Danny.
Dreamed that we would be, that I would even get 1,000 shares or anything. I wouldn't, I just took a picture of what was now that I reflect on it, it was a moment that I'll probably never forget.
His Facebook page is filled with comments like Ferraro. They're people who see the divine in the image. Science has a name for the phenomenon. Crepuscular rays, they're called. Ferraro, though, sees it as something more, a sign of faith, a message of hope he's passing on.
I'm speechless, I'm honored, and I feel blessed to have the responsibility of, sharing that picture.
Deborah Brickley, 13 Eyewitness News.
Is it me, guys? and I'm not saying no disrespect to religion or anything like that, but it seems like a lot of hardcore religious people. You see that guy's religious. He had a cross on his house, and I'm not making fun of anybody who's religious, but it seems like a lot of things they look at, they see an angel or they see Jesus. Here's a potato that looks like Mary. It does. But now, in theory, could that be a sign? Could that be spiritual or something that's giving a sign? I guess, right? I mean, I guess. I mean, anything's possible. Could UFOs, aliens use the energy and shape clouds into a message for people? I don't know. Maybe. It's hard to say. What's it say? We're not like the European countries invasion would be. So, but hey, listen. If seeing that cloud and it's an angel to you and that's making you feel good inside, nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. How many times we have walked around in life and something weird kind of happens, we say, that's got to be a sign. That's got to be something. Kind of like when I asked something to move and my green screen came down. That's a sign. Could be a sign. That's all I'm going to say. So, if he thinks that's him a private sign, I've always say, in the Mandela effect world, if there's a change for you, there's probably a reason why. So maybe he's got a message and he's got something he needs to do. But beyond that, let's go find out what the Bigfoot has to do. That's right. Like the Jesus image on the toast. And didn't somebody sell something that's supposed to look like Jesus, like on eBay, and they got all this money for it? Wow. I'm in the wrong business. I should create Jesus on everything and just put all on eBay and say, look, Jesus is shining his light through me. Look at all these images that he had me drawn. And maybe I can make some money out of it. I don't know. This is called Bigfoot in New Mexico. What is Bigfoot doing in New Mexico?
Morning, New Mexico is known for a handful of things from green chili to lots of local brews, but now it could be known for something else. Bigfoot. Just a few years ago, researchers shot this video on their infrared cameras. They claim they caught a creature in the Jemez, but they are not the only ones who think Bigfoot is in New Mexico. Today, leading expert Dr. Jeff Meldrum will be in Gallup talking about his findings. He'll also show video of the creature on the San Juan River. He'll be joined by New Mexico naturalist Rob Kreider, who believes Sasquatch was in the Sandias in the 90s. Now, the two will have lectures at UNM's Gallup campus, along with audio recordings and much more. It will be in room 220. It starts at 4 o'clock and is free of charge. Back to you.
Okay. All right. If you live in New Mexico, I guess you got Bigfoot hanging out around there, right? Well, Bigfoot is everywhere. So he's, New Mexico is a little hot. So maybe they're less furry in New Mexico, So, hey, New Mexico, I'm proud of you. What to say? Hey, the brain looks for recognizable shapes. So if you see an angel, your mind or religious thought, someone who sees engine, for example, that's true. That's I like that. That's true. Your mind, you could go outside on any cloudy day and look at certain clouds long enough, you're gonna get a shape. There was one day I had a nightmare cloud. It was like a nightmare. I looked it up like, oh my God, it looks like Joe Biden. Scared the shit out of me. That's what I learned. These clouds are telling me a message. Look, there's Joe Biden up in the air as a cloud. That's a scary looking guy. All right, guys. I love commercials when they use the Sasquatch. This is a very short, like 15-second commercial, but I love it. Jack Link's messing with the Sasquatch. So this is another Sasquatch commercial, and to me, it's a win for the community. Because kids see these commercials, they might think, what is a Sasquatch? What is a Bigfoot? You think it's small, but to me, it's a big deal. Here we go.
Links presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
Watch this.
Don't mess with other snacks. Choose Jack Link's jerky made with 100% beef.
I love that commercial, people. Because Sasquatch's like, you're going to fucking play with me? I'll fucking play with you. And dude, you got to take that message out in the real world, right? You go out in the woods looking for Bigfoot, and you see something, and you're gonna like throw water or shit on something. You better watch out what you do, because it can come back in two folds. So let's see that commercial one more time. I love it.
Jack Links presents Messin'
They're
with
not sponsoring
Sasquatch.
you, guys. They're not sponsoring you.
Watch this.
Yeah.
Don't mess with other.
He got what he deserved. Got what he deserved. You don't fuck with the Bigfoot. And guys, and listen, he's got an ice chest. He's got a good-looking girl beside him. And he's messing with the Bigfoot. This girl's got to get rid of this guy. I mean, this guy's a loser. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean? I mean, that guy's got to go. Go play with the other beaver. You know, so beyond that, this Bigfoot is, I believe, it's a primitive, very large primitive North Carolina man says he has a video footage of 3 Bigfoots. 3 of them. Let's check it out.
Despite the signs outside his Hickory home,
Crazy.
Doug Teague and Crazy Daisy strayed away from the wooded trails in McDowell County. He was grabbing some cameras he had set up, hoping they recorded images of a longtime fascination, Bigfoot. As he was walking back to his truck,
then a rock was through. She chased it. I just kind of stopped, took the phone out, gazed the hill, kept looking. He's still up here.
Not just one, he says 3 different Bigfoot stared at him from the hill. This is just a snippet of 10 minutes of video Teague says he recorded.
He's moving.
Just describe to me that moment, just emotionally, just
like a giddy school kid. Just nervous, heart beating, it was crazy.
He's a member of the Catawba Valley Bigfoot Research Club. McDowell County is considered a hot spot for these sightings, though the path leading to this larger-than-life creature often goes cold. Scientists say there's a logical reason for this. There's no evidence Bigfoot exists. Teague disagrees.
They're real. They're there.
As does Vicki Cook.
It went in front of my camera.
Earlier this summer, she shared this grainy video taken outside her Cleveland County home.
Screamed. I didn't know what it was, but that thing was tall.
With big feet to boot, both Cook and Teague took casts of the creature's feet.
There's probably a lot more evidence than people realize.
Some will scoff, but others, like Cook, Teague, and even his granddaughter,
he's moving, he's moving, he's moving,
believe. In Catawba County, I'm Brandon Goldner, NBC Charlotte.
All right. I don't know. I mean, if he's claiming that's the footage that you're seeing 3 of them, I don't know if I see 3 of them, but I mean, you never know, right? I mean, if there's one Bigfoot, there might be a partner or 2 or 3, you know? You never know, right? What if the Bigfoots were having an orgy party back there and you interrupted them? That's rude. That's rude of him. Interrupt the, you know, hey, I'm sure these Bigfoots have fun too in life. So I don't know if I saw 3 of them, but hey, you never know, right? You know, you never know. So I did like his hat. I believe. That's good enough for me, because believing is everything. What the hell just happened? All right, guys, let's jump on over to the paranormal. So here we go. Oh, I lost my intro. All right, this first one is exclusive. Taylor Kinks from CT Live visits the Museum of the Paranormal. All right, we got a paranormal museum. I want to see that.
Ghosts, poltergeists, and demonic beings. No, this isn't the start of a horror movie, but just some of what John Zaffis has encountered during his career as a paranormal investigator.
I'm going on 40 plus years, and I still have a lot of the questions when I originally started. Because the more you delve into the supernatural, the more questions you come back with trying to prove or disprove something. We investigate a lot of things with human spirit, removing haunted items. Energy could be attached to these things and wreak havoc in a person's home.
Following in the footsteps of a long line of paranormal investigators, John keeps those items locked away here in Stratford.
Ed and Lorraine Warren are my aunt and uncle, and Ed was my mom's twin.
You've probably heard of Connecticut natives Ed and Lorraine Warren. They investigated countless paranormal occurrences over the years, including the murders in Amityville, New York, made famous by the movie The Amityville Horror, and the Perron family haunting in Rhode Island, which became the basis for the Conjuring movie series.
Worked on quite a few different cases with them over the course of the years, and here today I do a lot of my own investigating and have my own team, and Dan's part of our team today.
The things that we experience and the things that we can record and document are just part of the natural world, and we're just trying to understand it.
Throughout this room, many of the items you see are haunted, and some of them even have ties to Connecticut, like the Virgin Mary here. It was said that during an exorcism, her hands melted off.
It was a haunted funeral home in Southington. The family that was living there had several children. The haunting escalated and the family was being attacked on a nightly basis by these spirits. John actually was one of the investigators on that case.
The priest had placed a lot of relics and things around, and one of them was a little Mary statue. And when Father went to go retrieve it, he discovered that the hands were melted off of it, and it totally startled him. He wouldn't touch it or anything. There are those situations like the haunting in Connecticut. One exorcism was performed. It was very successful. The family moved out. There's this one case for 4 years I worked on, and it took 16 exorcisms to free the woman.
A lot of the darker stuff that's here was involved in satanic rituals where negative energy was brought in and ended up being attached to those particular items.
I think one of the most common things is dolls. One that I acquired by a very good friend of mine, and the doll was in his family for many years, locked up in the attic. And he was so worried that whatever was attached to this was going to wreak havoc on the rest of the family. He's saying, never want this doll to go into anybody else's home, so please place it in your museum.
Intelligent hauntings are the ones where we can communicate to them, and then they can communicate back.
How many are here with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times we're dealing with families that are scared, that don't know what they're experiencing. For me personally, it was important to be able to go in and give them some answers.
I'm still on the same journey as Danny. I'm on the same journey as somebody else just starting out. We're looking for answers. We want that scientific proof to be able to back all this, and I hope that happens before I turn into a ghost.
Okay. Now, that's a good question. Why would you want something that is haunted or possessed? That's a very intelligent, smart question if you really think about it. You know, now I can't tell you if the items in his museum is really possessed and all that. I mean, it's kind of worrisome that they're related to Ed and Lorraine Warren, which I respect. Investigators, you know, they're the original investigators, but you know, we all know the stories of them. They have their own haunted room. Is this guy copying to have a haunted room? And if you seriously think about his question again. Okay, why would you want to have haunted or possessed items? Okay, now if you have, hold on a second. Ed and Lorraine Warren's private occult museum still being live streamed occasionally on YouTube. Yes, that one guy with the beard that used to interview them on his show and stuff. Yeah, he's taken over the YouTube channel and that museum. Yeah. If you have a possessed item, technically you would think it's be completely 100% dangerous when you have all these multiples energy, paranormal, all in one spot. You know, I really wish somehow we could determine if the items. Oh, that's Ed and Lorraine's son-in-law. Oh, okay, perfect. That's his son-in-law. That makes perfectly good sense. That makes good sense. That makes so. And you put all, because if you put, I would think. I mean, I'm not an expert on this. But I would think you put all that together. You're remember that Ghostbusters? Remember the movie Ghostbusters? They put all those ghosts in one spot, and when that thing blew, bam, everything gets taken over. I'm not saying this is the same thing. Don't get me wrong, like Ghostbusters, but you put all of these together, and if they were all possessed, I would think just bringing anybody from the outside in is you're gonna have trouble. You're gonna cause issues. Oh boy, Eric's looking studly. F again, rocking the red and black satanic colors. Satanic, baby. Satanic is afraid of me. They stay away from me. Let me see here. My mom was a photographer. She did a photo shoots with the Warrens in the 70s. I met them back in the day. Yeah, they're one of the original grandfathers of paranormal investigations. Some people believe them, some people don't. With all those investigations, there's truth to it. Do they stretch the truth out on some of them? I'm sure they did. Everybody does. I'm sure almost everybody stretches the truth somewhat. I'm not saying you should or not, but we all know, and The Conjuring, we know the real story. They actually got fired. They were thrown out, but they were still there. And the Amityville Horror, they weren't like the first investigators of the Amityville Horror. Were invited to go there? Yes, they weren't invited. But we can't sit here and say they were the queen and king of everything they've touched. Everything's 100% because we know they were fired. They were, so it is interesting. But Ed and Lorraine Warren, they're I consider them the godfather and godmother of paranormal investigations. It's one of the things I respect Ed Warren was every interview he's done, he's recorded it. He recorded his interviews. So, like one time he recorded these cops. I can't remember what case it was. He recorded the police officer saying there was paranormal. And then the next day, they backtracked their story. He had him on tape saying, "Whoa, wow, you're backtracking your story? According to this tape, you didn't. Fired on what grounds?" They were they were thrown off the Perez family farm. They were thrown off the property. And we weren't there. I don't know exactly. You probably look it up, but they were thrown off the Perez family property. So they weren't really fully there through the whole investigation. They were actually thrown off. But beyond that, let's go to this next one. Paranormal investigator tours Whip City Haunted House. Whip City Haunted House, here we come.
Houses are popular this time of year, but plenty are actually open year-round, including some right here in the 4 states. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky took a tour of the George Ball House in Webb City and spoke with a paranormal researcher about the house's history and how researchers study what they say is ghostly activity.
Heard the sound of something and looked over and watched the doorknob turn, open the door, and no one's upstairs.
Incidents like that aren't unusual for Lisa Martin, a paranormal investigator here in the 4 states.
Everyone that's involved tend to be history buffs, and history and interest in the paranormal often go hand in hand. We combine that interest to help support local sites.
Sites like the George Ball House in Webb City.
It was built by George Ball and his wife Martha in 1900. It would have been Mr. and Mrs. Ball and several of their children.
But this family housed here in Webb City suffered many tragedies.
Including a son that was murdered, that was never solved. a couple of other deaths in the family that were untimely.
Upon exploring the house, we encountered some pretty strange incidents.
I think this was open when I shut that door.
Like an upstairs door that seemed to have opened on its own.
We keep it shut. There's no reason to. In fact, there's not a doorknob.
Or a faint voice we heard behind us just before turning on the camera.
Isn't it?
Did you hear something or was that me?
I thought I heard like almost a little whisper.
The Paranormal Science Lab team uses a mixture of their history knowledge as well as technology to research paranormal incidents within the 4 states.
When we conduct electronic voice phenomena sessions, we will ask questions out loud and just to see if it triggers anything, if there's a reply either audibly or on a recorder later.
While we can't say for sure what we encountered during our visit, it definitely seemed out of the ordinary. In Web City, Bronte Sorotsky, KUAM News.
Ooh, anyone interested in any upcoming ghost tours can go to their website or Facebook page. You can find a link and information for other haunted houses.
So if you guys are in Montana, go check it out. Go check out Web City. Go stay in that haunted house. I will. I would. You know, bring it on. Bring it on. Hey, Discovery Plus. I will spend a night there. Lights out. You want to lock the doors like the Ghost Adventures did before? I don't care. Lock the doors. Lock me in. Turn no power on. I would stay there. I would stay there. You know, I love good stories like that. I look for stories, you know, and sometimes it's hard to believe why some stories gets no traction. You know, when I was looking up stories, that story, believe it or not, was October 2021, only got 47 views. Right? Look, I'm the only one. They got 1 thumbs up. And that's from me. 1 thumbs up, 47 views. You know why? I don't care how many views a video has. I don't give a shit. If I like a story, I like it. I want to share haunted places where they're in different places. So the reason I'm telling you guys this, is don't ever judge a channel on how many views they get or how many thumbs up. Even though I ask people to give me a thumbs up, you know, it is important. But sometimes, you know, all because the channel will get thumbs up doesn't mean you don't want to check it out. Because I checked this out, I'm going to go to Montana. When I go to Montana, which is not super far away for a drive. I mean, it's a little drive, but it's not too far away, you know. So guys, you know, you guys ever get a free chance today, I'm going to put the link in the description, but if you ever get a free chance, go to this channel, give him a thumbs up, and I saw your news channel shout out on the Paranormal Highway channel. Let's get the word out there. Let them know that these videos are important. Keep putting them out there. Doesn't matter if you're getting a lot of views, a lot of hits. It doesn't matter. So the information of these places need to be out there because one of you who might be watching this might be living in that state and say, hey, I'm going to check that out. And that's what we're here for. So beyond that, guys, I think it's time to visit some UFOs. Alrighty, UFO time, baby. This is kind of interesting. This is Willis' 50-year-old UFO sighting emerges again. And apparently he was threatened by the military and stuff to not come out and admit on what he's saying. This is actually in Australia. So is our Australian people still here? Is our Australia representation still here? Where is he? I'm looking. I haven't seen Justin. Justin A.D. Menard, you're still in here? Because Justin, this is your area. This is Australia, baby. Let's find out what's going on in Australia.
A teacher who claimed to see UFOs hovering over a Melbourne school says military officials threatened to have him fired if he ever spoke about the incident. Andrew Green.
And if you guys don't think that really happens, you got to think twice. There are stories that people don't say because they were threatened. If you get fired for lying, can't you get a job faster with the government? Right? Right? That's a damn good question. That's a damn good question. Hey, I'd be like telling the government, well, fuck you. You're gonna threaten me with my job. Give me a fucking job. Then everybody, and then when I say this story while I work for the government, they're gonna think I'm a liar no matter what now. So the government should have hired his ass. Here we go.
Wood is talking publicly about the famous Westall High sightings 55 years ago for the first time in tonight's 7 News Spotlight program.
Now, an ordinary suburban school, but in 1966, Westall High students and teachers insist they saw UFOs triggering a massive government cover-up.
They were threatening you? Oh, absolutely. I was threatened.
Then a Westall teacher, Andrew Greenwood, speaks publicly for the first time to Spotlight.
Mr. Greenwood, there's a flying saucer.
On the Oval, he and 200 students saw 3 of them.
It was a grey, almost cylindrical or cigar-shaped object.
All these years later, the students draw what they witnessed. They claim one landed in a park, then took off.
I could feel a heat and hear this buzzing sound, and I could see purple lights all around it.
Now, close to that landing area is a popular UFO-themed children's playground, but at the time, within 40 minutes, this area was swarming with military officials who warned witnesses never to tell anyone what they'd seen. They menaced the teacher at home.
They told me that I was wrong, that I hadn't seen anything.
And if he spoke up,
clearly you were drunk on duty, and that will have to be reported to the education department, and of course you'll lose your job.
And
funny. Apparently you were drunk, and we'll let the that sounds like governments, man. I'm telling you. And you don't think that stuff happens? Blackmail happens every single day. Not, it doesn't all happen in the paranormal UFOs or Bigfoot sightings. It just happens in general life. You say something, you're drunk, and they'll probably plant drugs and stuff into your system when you get tested. So it sucks, right?
Official report into Westall just disappeared.
And that is what I find most interesting of all, that I was definitely being told to be quiet.
Nick McCallum, 7 News.
Well, I'd love to get that guy on, but I'm sure he's been asked to go on so many shows, and I think if he wants to go on a real show, it should be the Paranormal Highway. My opinion. Come here, we'll all treat you with respect, because we know that's you hear that kind of stories everywhere, like the famous UFO thing happening here in Des Moines, Washington. Reading stories about that, how the Men in Black showed up, like, no, you didn't see that. Nope, you didn't see that. No, that was or Roswell. Oh, that was a air balloon. Or, hey, that's a meteorite. Or now, of course, it's the satellites, right? It's the satellite. It's the new Starlink satellite with Elon Musk now. Of course, that's causing some lights in the sky. And of course, drones. Drones are also going to be easy now. And I get it with drones. It is hard now with drones in the air. But even though it might be harder to discover the UFOs, because there's drones, it's the easiest one to use too now, right? If you want to tell people they're wrong, oh, that was just drones. People were just experimenting with drones, 3 or 4 of them. So now the governments, people, cities, whatever, people with power, now they can use meteorites, they can use satellites, they can use drones as excuses for the truth. So why am I telling you this? Because they're telling you it's one thing. Don't always believe what you hear. Now, if you listen to a bunch of people and you come to that conclusion, I support your conclusion. I support you. That's fine. But don't ever believe something when the first time you hear it. Don't ever. All right. Next UFO. Mysterious light spotted in Bay Area skies. Was not a UFO. So apparently they saw these lights in the Bay Area, but they're being told it's not a UFO. That's what I'm saying. They're being told. But is it a UFO? Plane. A spaceship. Mysterious light seen this morning in the Bay Area was a Navy vessel test. Really? There's a routine there wasn't in response to world activity. Wow. Next time you're outside, look up. You never know what you may see. Wow. Wow. It was a missile test. I'm no expert. I haven't been to every single Navy base. You know, I was in the Coast Guard and stuff. I was in the military myself. But I've never really heard of doing a missile test next to a city, right? Here's a city. Let's do a missile test. You know, what time is this video? Oh, let me see here. Let me see if I can get that answer for you real quick. Let me go to my history. Let me see here. Mystery light spotted. That was 2017. 2017, around February 14th. Early Tuesday, residents reported seeing mysterious light in the skies across the Bay Area. What it's a meteor, a spaceship, a plane. It turns out to be none of these things. I just played it because when they say none of these things, really? Here we go again. You're being told. So, time of day. Here, I'll tell you what. Sean, I'll put the link. I'll put the link to this video. It's going to be in the description, but Sean, here's the link to that video. Right there. So that's the link where I got that video from. So check it out. Check your source. See, Sean, you're studying it. You're going to study that source. I like that. I like that. Sean, that's very intelligent. I like what you're doing there. You know, you're going to study it. So, guys, it's time for Mandela effect.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. Luke, I am your father.
Now, we're going to talk about a song. I wish I could play the song, but unfortunately, there's a major copyright on the song. And why can't I pull up? Oh, hold on a second. Give me a second here. All right. This was sent to me from Dr. Wu, about the song from Beck called Loser. I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? After you guys hear me sing that verse, you guys probably like, please kill me. Tell him to stop singing. I'm driving in a car. I might get in an accident. People might hit me. So I get that. Now, there's a line in the song There's a verse in the song, but there's a line in the song. It's called "Soy Unpredictable." I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? Get crazy with the cheese whiz. Get crazy with the cheese whiz. Now, according to Dr. Wu, it says, let me see here. The song from Beck, "You're a Loser, Baby," had a lyric said, "Easy on the cheese whiz." Now it says, "Crazy on the cheese whiz." Look up the lyrics, scroll down to read it. Used to be "Easy on the cheese whiz," but not that anymore. Juan Torres posted this on my site. So this Mandela effect was founded by Juan Torres, who told Dr. Wu, who told me this. Now cheese whiz. Hold on a second. There's let me make that lyric bigger for you. Cheese whiz. Now let me see here. I'm trying to pull up pictures of cheese whiz. Cheese whiz. Images. Where's the image? Okay. Where's the images of cheese whiz? Okay. Now, and the reason this is coming up, now a lot of you like, oh, why do I care about the cheese whiz alert change? Well, I mean, if it did change, then there's a change, right? I mean, there's a change. Now the thing is, see, cheese whiz has always been in the Mandela effect community, and I'll show you a picture. Okay, now you see here that jar. That jar says cheese whiz. Now, easy cheese, the one you pour out, that used to be the cheese whiz. But then here's a picture of an original cheese whiz. And then the thing is, the Mandela effect of the cheese whiz, that it was always, I don't want to, I knew it. I knew if I click on one of those, actually, it was always this color. And cheese whiz was never in a red color, this. So cheese whiz has always been easy cheese. It's like people believe that the easy cheese whiz kind of reversed, where then easy cheese became white and all that. But back in the day, it was all cheese whiz in the white cans. So now when you have a song, let me go back to the song. Let me get back to it. When you got a song called "Get Crazy with the Cheese Whiz," people remember it as "Easy with the Cheese Whiz." Here we go. We got something here. Do you remember the car at the end of the THX 1138 movie turning white to purple? It's white again. Really? Hold on a second. I got to check that out. Give me a second. The car in the movie THX 1138. This is 1138. Which course? Let me see here. Holy shit. Wow. That's a good one. Wow. This is a trip. It is all white. At the end, turning from white to purple, it's white again. Flip-flops. You see, if anybody who's new here about Mandela effects, there's also things are known as flip-flops, where there's been a change, then it changed back. It actually happens all the time. Cheese and whiz don't go together if you're describing the color of your pee. I love that. THX 1138. That's interesting. That is interesting. Now you're asking yourself, why is that interesting? That the car goes purple back to white. because THX was directed by George Lucas. Okay, we all know that George Lucas in the 60s wanted to be a race car driver. He had a near-death experience. He crushed his car, almost died. So his career in driving went away. And in his hospital time, he claims that he had visions of a story of Star Wars. And we all know Star Wars is famous for changes in the Mandela community. And we all know that when George Lucas kept writing his movies, he kept changing things that don't line up. Some people say, well, he just did whatever he wanted. Some people say that his memory was different in his head. That's why episode 1, 2, 3 never really technically lined up perfectly with 3, 4, and 5 with the words of the movie. So I even, not making a joke of it, I even said I wish that Mandela effect name would go away, and I'd rather call it the Lucas effect. Because I have said that George Lucas is the king of Mandela effects. He's the prime guy. Near-death experience. Some people said he did die that day when he wrecked his car. I mean, that's up for you to decide. I said that I believe he died that day, but he was allowed to live. If you guys see pictures, I'm not going to do it here. I don't have time to do all that. But if you look at this picture, that car was totaled. He should have died. He didn't. So are these flip-flops and all that? That's something that I will say the Fizzy Pop, there's something there. Because it all links to George Lucas, the master, to me, the king of Mandela effects, which people should be calling it Lucas effect, in my opinion. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today. I really did. And like I said, tomorrow's 2 shows. Tomorrow, there's one at noon. It's going to be kind of a world news mixed with the guest that's from the Bigfoot paranormal community. I'm gonna pick out some of the best of the videos that I've shown. Kind of a guest that's never been on this channel before from a channel called Kark. And then 8 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow night, we're gonna have Unidentified S4. We're gonna have the UFO guys on. So we're gonna have a UFO show tomorrow night. So there's 2 shows tomorrow. So get popcorn, get ready. And guys, I want to say to every single one of you, I appreciate you guys for showing up. I really do. It means a lot to me. Without you guys, there is no show. There is not. You guys are the reasons why I like doing this every day, encouraging me, because to be open-minded is everything. I'll never tell you have to believe in everything, but you should be open-minded to the possibilities of ghosts, Bigfoot, UFOs, Mandela effects, whatever you want to think, any unknown out there. You should be open to the possibility of what's out there. So thank you guys for taking the Paranormal Highway journey. And tomorrow, since the show's at noon, there's a good chance Connor will be back. But when he's at work, sometimes his boss is there, and he can't go live with the bosses there. He has to do it when the boss leaves. Usually the boss leaves right before 12 o'clock noon. So beyond that, guys, thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate it all, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Paranormal Highway.